All right, you're on.
Cool. Let's talk about periods. I'm going to talk about a subject that is important to me and hopefully important to most of you in here. And I want to know, why is it that women still pay exorbitant amounts of money for pads and tampons? And why is there a tax on those products but not on condoms? I'm here to persuade you that we should eliminate the cost of items like tampons and pads, as well as eliminate the pink tax, which is a tax associated with most of those products. Obviously, I'm a woman who isn't ashamed to admit that my biological functions are reproductive and personal to me. I have personally experienced the pain and suffering of not being able to afford these products, not have access to them. Have you ever calculated how much a person spends in their lifetime on these products? Well, according to an article by the Huffington Post, written in 2019, the average self-identified woman will spend $18,171 in her lifetime on feminine hygiene products. Now, let's discuss how this affects the lives of people who can't afford these products. According to a Bloomberg article written in 2019, in the US, nearly 14% of girls and women live below the poverty line, compared to only 11% of boys and men. This disparity holds at nearly every age and is the strongest during a woman's menstruating years. For this reason alone, it's important to provide them with free products, because obviously this indicates they can't meet the cost of living, which includes shelter, food, water, and clothing. Let's take a look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Well, you can see that under safety and security needs, we see health, employment, property, family, and stability, as well as air, food, water, shelter, and clothing, and sleep under physiological needs. So where do period products lie? Menstruation is biological, so obviously under physiological needs and safety and security needs, we would need those products to be covered. In her 2019 Reuters article, Carol Lee says that women use rags and cannot afford laundry, so many will bury and burn them because they can't afford the cost of tampons and pads. This can lead to isolation, infection, psychological symptoms like embarrassment, and many times women will bleed through their clothing in these establishments, which will further embarrass them. And especially they don't have access to sanitary facilities, bathrooms where they can change their clothing. So we should see these luxury items written in tax codes as unethical. And menstruation is an inherent biological function. Tampons are singled out as luxury items in tax codes and are seen as non-necessities. This is called a woman penalty, and this is sex-based discrimination. We are using women as objects and objectifying their reproductive rights. Medical supplies and food are often exempt from sales tax, but feminine hygiene products are not. Men don't have to pay taxes for their non-essential equivalent items, so why should we? Further, it impacts young girls' education. By pricing them, we are telling girls to be ashamed of their bodies. We are telling them that they should not ask for help. This can lead to school absences, which impacts their education and disrupts their growth and development. And it also can lead to isolation from friends and family. This is a conversation about health and dignity of all people. So, what does the world look like without the cost of the tax and the cost of these items? I think progressive and awesome. In a 2016 article by Paquette, it writes, Illinois and New York require all public schools to provide feminine hygiene products to middle and high school kids. Scotland also mandates all the schools give products freely, and there was recently legislation passed that requires all Oregon prisons to distribute these products freely to all inmates. So there is some awesome stuff happening. According to an organization called Helping Women Period, we can distribute products in public places, shelters, and educate and talk openly and freely about tampons and pads. I think we need to be open and honest about our bodies, because this isn't a problem to be fixed, but a function to be celebrated by everyone. Fundamentally, this issue is about equal rights and shutting down the stigma around periods and the female form of the body. We need to remove the price tag from the menstrual cycle. Finally, I I brought some with me today. Over here. If you have never seen these before, here they are. And anyone can take one if they want to.
Oh.
So, yeah. And here are my references. So, thank you all.